This is going to be the most casual but to the point breakdown of digital real estate out there. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen and walk you through what we have for you this evening. So thanks guys for joining. We know you guys have busy schedules. You've got families, kids, jobs, all that good stuff. And so we appreciate you taking some time out of your day and want to give you as much value as possible here over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. Okay. All righty. So perfect. Okay. Now, tonight is going to be all about how to generate near passive income from owning digital real estate. Okay. Even if you're a complete beginner, work 8 hours a day, and don't even consider yourself good at technology. Okay. Now, before we get started, what we're about to share with you is extremely valuable information, and we want you to get the most out of this as possible. So a few things, okay? If we can get rid of distractions, that would be perfect. Put the phone down on Do Not Disturb if you have to. I've got my Do Not Disturb on already. And we invite you to also take out a notepad, take some notes. This webinar will not be recorded for personal use later on, okay? And then third is just to get ready to learn, okay? When you've done this, go ahead and type done in the chat so we know you're ready to rock and roll with us. All right. People are feeling shy in the chat. If you're ready. Oh, Kyle's done. Sierra's done. Diego's done. Jonathan's done. Perfect. Oh, there's a little bit of lag here. Okay, that's good. All right. Now we've got our tech guy on here. Hey Tyler, can we look at enabling some captioning by chance? That I'm not sure of, Allison. I'm going to put our tech guy on it and see if he can get us some caption enabled. Most of what we will be talking about will be on the slides as well. So if you do follow along on the slides, you will get most of the information that way too. Okay. Awesome, guys. Looks like we're ready to rock and roll. Okay. Now, what are we going to talk about tonight? Okay. We're going to have a complete explanation of what digital real estate is, what it looks like, and how you can do it yourself. Okay. We're going to talk about what businesses are prime tenants for digital real estate and how to get them paying you without having to hard sell them into it. Okay. How anyone can get started with digital real estate while working a full-time job and how to fit it into your busy schedule, how to scale your DRE portfolio to 5 figures and beyond. And the most important part is there is a fun little gift at the end. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Now, again, this can be done even if you have never sold anything before in your life. You really don't have to sell digital real estate. We're going to cover more on this later. All right. We're going to break down that whole process. And this can be done even if you consider yourself to not be a master at technology. Okay. We live in a day and age where AI does wonders. It can help us so much with so many different things, and especially here with digital real estate. And this can be done even if you only have a few hours per week to spend on it. Okay. So if you are ready to learn, go ahead and type a yes in the chat. Now there is a little bit of lag here, so we don't see it right away, but we imagine you typing. Cody's ready to learn. Appreciate you, Cody. Jonathan, Sierra. All right. Perfect. Okay. I'll let Dakota take it from here.
All right, guys. So listen to this. Digital real estate, to get an idea, doesn't involve, a few things here. Spending hours trying to find a winning product to ship to China and sell it for more in the US with extremely low profit margins, especially with those new tariffs. It doesn't involve spending time driving around to different stores, hunting for winning products, barely making more than break even, or even worth investing tons of money up front into an inventory, and it's not even leaving Amazon's warehouse. And lastly, it's not marketing the same product on social media that tons of other people are already pushing, all for a small commission that isn't a consistent income. Our digital real estate methods, or DRE for lack of a better term, aren't just a guess, okay? They've not only worked for both Derek and I, but also for 700 students as well. I think we're coming up on about 750 students that we have helped with this exact model. We started this back in 2020, so about 5 years ago, and our digital real estate portfolios now make us a little over $80,000 per month. So what have other people been able to do with this? Okay, this is a student from our community who within his first about month secured over $6,000 plus monthly recurring revenue. Josh is another student who made $1,700 up front and $750 from 2 tenants with room to grow up to about $1,750 per month. And Bo woke up on a Monday morning to an additional $1,250 hitting his bank account with this exact same model. And Kent bringing in $3,000 up front and $500 per month in maintenance for each website relaunch. Okay, John is another win, getting paid $400 per month and is using AI to do about 50% or more of the work. Why digital real estate is an incredible opportunity? Okay, a few things, guys. There are 8.5 billion Google searches daily, okay, 60% of which are on mobile devices, just from our phone. Over 25% of small businesses don't even have a website at all. Huge opportunity for us. 5 million new small businesses are formed each year in the United States, and around 70% of small businesses are not fully optimized for mobile search, okay? These businesses need your help to capitalize on this traffic, and more traffic for them equals more money for both you and them as well, okay? Why digital real estate is an incredible opportunity? Now let me ask, if you had your own home service business and we made you an extra $10,000 per month from sending you new customers, would you pay us $1,000 for doing so? Probably, but I want you to get to type number 1 in the chat if you would. And we're going to wait for that. I know, again, there is a lag, but I want to make sure that people are engaged here. Ross, 1, you'd pay us. Allison, Kyle, Jonathan. Okay, we're working now.
Perfect. Okay, so obviously, if you're going to bring in an extra $10,000 a month to someone's business, they're going to be more than likely to pay you a tenth of that as a thank you, right? So the businesses that we actually rent digital real estate out to are extremely secure. We target home service businesses, okay? These are the perfect tenants for our websites, okay? All are in the US, okay? Many of them not affected by tariffs because they are labor intensive, right? Labor more than supply and material, okay? There's always high demand, okay? Remember the last recession that we dipped into during COVID, the home service industry absolutely skyrocketed. It was great for us during that time. And home service businesses have high profit margins, okay? That makes them easy, or that makes it easy for them to pay you on a month-to-month basis, especially when you bring them in $10,000, $1,000 of that is an easy payment because so much of that is profit for the business, okay? In 2025, there has never been a better way to start your digital real estate portfolio, and having a second income source will always be beneficial, okay? Now, the question for you is, would you like to learn how to take advantage of this opportunity and make an extra $3K a month, $8K a month, or even $10,000 or more per month from it? If that is resonating with you, type yes in the chat if you're ready to hear some more. All right, Allison's ready. There we go, Allison. Now, Allison, can you give us some feedback? Are the closed captions working? Are they live, or are you just following along on the slides here? All right, we got other people. Zach's ready. Cammie, Jamie, Tanya, perfect. Dustin's in. Austin, yes, sir. Okay, perfect. Okay. So let's just take a step back for a minute, okay? So this is me. I'm Derek, right? In 2020, I had an ice delivery job, okay? There I am masked up, doing the COVID thing, delivering ice for a living, okay? Fast forward, this is me just in December in 2024 at Disneyland with my daughter, dressed up as Moana, right? That's her favorite princess. During the middle of the week, right? Great way to kind of kick off the holiday season towards the end of last year. But let me give you a little bit of my backstory, right? I moved from California to the state of Utah at the right age of 7, okay? The reason we moved to Utah was my dad was a quote unquote entrepreneur, took on a big development in northern Nevada, actually. And that just happened to be right at the time the market completely fell apart in 2008, okay? So my family struggled for years and years after that, right? We lost everything. So growing up, that was not a fun time, right? And probably many of you on this call remember 08, 09, remember that financial crash, and probably went through some hard times, right? I remember sitting in an econ class when I did do some college later on, my econ professor asking, whose families had been affected by the 08, 09 crash, and everybody in that huge lecture room raised their hand, right? So because of that, I was always taught, this is something my dad would actually say to us, right? To me and all of my siblings, he would say, you can be anything you want as long as you're a doctor first, right? He would preach that because he wanted a stable career for his children because of the struggles that he went through, okay? Now, so I did go to college. I was planning on going and being a doctor. All my brothers did it, right? But after a year and a half, I dropped out, okay? I worked tough jobs such as ice delivery, and I knew that entrepreneurship was the way, okay? But it wasn't so clear and evident, as I did end up losing over $100,000 on e-commerce, which we'll talk about that a little bit later, okay? Now, here's Dakota, and Dakota's gonna let us know his story a little bit.
Yeah, guys, I'll give you a little story. So as many of you are probably wondering, me and Derek might look somewhat similar. We are cousins, and so we grew up together. And this is a picture on the left here of our first business that we really made any money with together. We had tried multiple things prior, but this is the first business that we actually made a little bit of money, and this is through window cleaning, okay? Fast forward to now, this is me eating a massive lobster. If any of you like lobster, then you're probably a good friend of mine. But let's take a little step back here, okay? So I was born and raised in Utah. My dad was a dentist. He pushed me to find a career with more freedom, okay? Similar to Derek, and I think this probably comes down the bloodline of our family, very similar expectations, if you will, from my parents. It was, hey, be a doctor, you're going to be able to support your family, you'll be able to make some money and have some fun. In fact, I remember vividly my dad coming to me when I was, I think, 16 years old, and he said, Dakota, if you want to live the life that you had growing up, and if you want to have any fun in this world, you have to make at least $300,000 a year. And I remember getting a lot of pushback from the other siblings in my family, and not necessarily that being true, right? But I think that some of what he has said have come to, I guess, a reality. And I've realized that to be able to really move the needle, you have to be able to have a consistent income, or at least an income that you have uncapped potential, okay? I skipped college. I got directly into sales, right? So completely different from what my parents really expected, wanted, or did themselves, really. I started making a little bit of money, but as I started making money, I got more ambitious. We started new businesses. I tried and failed many different businesses, right? And then went with a reliable home service business with my best friend, my cousin Derek, and that's when we started washing windows. Okay, so again, this is our first successful business, okay? When I say successful, meaning that we weren't losing money. It seemed like everything we did was bleeding cash, and this is the first thing that actually added cash to our bank account. not a ton, and there was a lot of sweat equity to make this happen. In fact, we live in St. George, Utah. The average temperature is about 102 degrees. I think that this is actually like incorrect. Most days in the summer are 110, 115, right? We were spending 10 hours a day working, not a lot of time with our families. The heat is crazy. And in fact, like I remember, Derek, back in the days, you could probably agree with me, we would wash windows all day long. We'd be driving home. We're like, wow, we made $1,000 today, right? Not to mention the 10 hours, all the people that we had to deal with, the dogs barking with us, trying to bite us. Like, there's so much that we had to deal with. I remember walking home and be like, wow, we made $1,000 today. Split between two after we pay our expenses and gas. I mean, we were left with maybe a couple $100 each. But this was our first like true successful business, if you will. But why it was actually good, because we had been able to get consistent customers for our own business. Finally, right? We realized that we could help other businesses who weren't as profitable as ours do the same. And also doing so got us out of the heat. And I'm talking about the switch to actually now not just providing the service for clients, but helping businesses generate jobs, because that's something that we did feel like we started to get pretty good at. And then we were able to transition to the digital real estate model. Okay, our online business journey since then, when we started our first month, we did a lousy $3,000 in that first month. Okay, not profit, this is revenue. I think we ended up losing money that first month. Then fast forward a couple months later, we started to figure things out, and we were doing a little over $10,000 per month. Okay, now at the end of the year, we were doing a little over $20,000 per month, with a couple months that we were able to have a couple one-off services that were pretty exciting. Okay, fast forward till today, now we do a little over $80,000 per month collectively with our team, and this is all near passive. Okay, more on passive income later. So here's just one of our digital real estate portfolios. Okay, so if you guys look here, from August 7th, 2023 to August 6th, so exactly a year, we've done a little, about $317,000. And this is just from one of our portfolios, okay? Another picture here, $9K from January 1st to 7th this year.
Perfect. Okay, so since then, from making the switch of actually providing the service ourselves to now providing leads and referrals to other businesses through digital real estate, that's allowed us to do fun things, right? And have a consistent income, as well as the freedom to enjoy life, right? Me and my family, we go to Costa Rica every year. I served a 2-year religious mission down there. Love the people, love the culture. If you've ever been there, pura vida, it's great, right? So me and my family go down there every year, okay? We also, like I mentioned, we go to Disneyland. We're headed back to Disneyland next month, okay? And then we're a growing family. We got 2 little kids. I was able to get my wife her dream mom car, right? Doesn't look all that special to many, right? It's just a Honda Odyssey, but we were able to get that this year thanks to digital real estate, right?
Digital real estate has also allowed us to, and really along the same lines, just travel and have freedom, right? Just this last year, at the end of the year, just going to Disneyland on a week because I had nothing else to do, right? At the end of the day, when you don't have to be somewhere, you find places to be, and it's usually outside of work, right? This is another picture of us boating in the week. We golf, 3 or 4 times a week typically, just to be able to get out and have some fun. Because I think for me, I didn't want to wait till I was retired to have a lot of fun, because I wasn't able to do anything. I look at my dad, for example, he's reaching the retirement age and he feels like my body can't move. I can't really do anything that I want to do anyways. And I wish I would have been able to build something that paid me and allowed me to be able to do things earlier on.
Awesome. And here's some things we've been able to do together, right? So Dakota and I took our team on a cruise just a couple months ago. We were able to do Secret Santa for some families during the holiday season, go shooting pretty much any day of the week. If you follow us on Instagram, you know that we love hunting, shooting, all that good stuff, and just being outside, okay? So now, again, the goal for today is to show you exactly what digital real estate looks like and why it's so powerful for home service businesses, okay? those are those perfect tenants, right? We're going to teach you how to land those tenants who pay you semi-passive income from renting your digital real estate assets, okay? And give you our secret to scaling to 5 and 6 figures per month with it, okay? Sound good? Now, why does this training exist? We get lots of DMs asking a lot of basic questions about digital real estate, okay? The things like, is it actually possible to do this while working full time? Can I do this with no previous website making experience? The short answer is yes. Okay. Now, rather than addressing them individually, it's much easier for us to clear them all up at once, and doing it live in this setting will allow us to go in more depth. Okay. Now, however, this typically is not free information. Okay. For access to this information we're about to share tonight, we typically charge people at least $4,000. So I want you to imagine that you took your wallet out, you invested $4,000 to be here tonight, and pay attention as if you did, okay? So type me a yes in the chat once you've paid your imaginary $4K for tonight's information. Let's see it. Let's see it in the chat when you've got that paid in your head.
Cody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're rolling.
Richie loves it. There we go, Richie. Diego, Brian, Ross. Perfect. Okay. Just make it. Oh, Jason says paid. All right. Perfect. Okay. Just want to make sure you guys aren't sleeping over there. Okay. Now, we're going to keep this chat hot for a second. How many of you work a full-time job? Type me in the chat if this is you. See all the 9-to-5ers.
Once again, guys, this is an interactive live. We're going to need you to stay on your keyboard for this.
Perfect. Okay. Got some people working some full-time jobs. Okay. Jonathan, Brandon, Steven. Oh, Chad. No, he's not working a 9-to-5. Hey, Zach Smith works a 6 to 3.
Richie's in it right now. Don't tell us.
Richie's at his job right now. Lane at his job. Okay. Okay. Love to see you guys. Love to see it. Okay. Now, how many of you have other obligations, such as children, church, volunteering, errands, etc.? Type me in the chat if that's you. Any of you guys busy? Any of you feel like, holy cow, all I do is just run around and I'm busy all the time? I know it feels that way for me sometimes, just being a dad to 2 young kids, right? Okay. And then last question, I think. How many of you are looking to have a semi-passive side hustle? Okay. If this is you, type me in the chat. Steven's got a cat. Okay. Chad, he's got a lot going on. Sounds like. Brandon, perfect. Okay. If you're looking to have a semi-passive side hustle, type me in the chat. Zach Smith is in it. Perfect. Brandon, awesome. Another Derek here. Dustin, perfect. Okay, guys. So, important note. All businesses online work, okay? Some of you may have tried others before, okay? The key to success is find the one that fits your lifestyle, right? I actually, in my old office, had a plaque on the board that said, nothing works unless you do, right? Which goes along with this, that most things do work, right? It's just finding the ones that fit your lifestyle, right? So other models, right, that people preach about all the time require lots of time, energy, and focus to be successful. They have small profit margins and require a large upfront investment. And they bring lots of risk rather than a secure second source of income, okay? Our online business failures, okay, look a little like this. Before we found digital real estate, we had a massive e-commerce failure, okay? I mean, we lost $150,000. That was bare minimum. That was cash, right? $25,000 of that was my own dad's hard-earned money that he loaned me, okay? All that happened, spiraled out of control with e-commerce in a matter of about 4 months, okay? Never seen cash just go up in flames as quickly as that, okay? Why it failed? Well, e-commerce is not beginner friendly, okay? And people, as well as close mentors to me, convinced me otherwise, okay? That anybody could succeed, okay? Now, to be successful with e-commerce, here are some skills you need to learn, okay? Market research, business planning, data analysis, conversion rate optimization, product sourcing, supplier negotiation, inventory management, order fulfillment, blah, 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 okay? All in all, you need to learn about 38 different skills to see real success with e-commerce without blowing your life savings of that of your family members and people who believe and trust you, right? Two is there's lots of competition, right? So many people try e-commerce. Looks like Amazon FBA or drop shipping when they want a second income, okay? You end up having to compete on price, which means your profit margins get eaten up. 10 to 30% of the money on each product sold, okay? That means it takes a long time to earn your desired income, right? Especially if you're selling a $10 or $15 product, you're only making 10 to 30% margins. It takes a long time to recoup money, okay? Which is the third point, right? It takes a lot of time. Running an e-commerce business is not a side hustle. It's practically like having a second full-time job, right? Which is, there's all those me's in the chat about you guys living busy lives and having full schedules and already feeling like you're running around crazy all the time. Obviously, that is not what we want here, okay? So why start digital real estate? Digital real estate is one, simple and easy to learn, okay? Like I mentioned at the beginning, AI does a ton of work for us these days, okay? The profit margins are high, okay? With a lot of our sites, we just pay for hosting and domain, okay? Practically risk-free. You're not risking life savings to start, just a little bit of time that you need to invest, okay? As well as it's scalable. It can be repeated until the desired income is met, okay? You can start it with little capital. An internet connection and a computer is all of the quote-unquote equipment that you need, right? You don't have to go buy a truck or a building or something, that other traditional businesses need, okay? As well as it's beginner-friendly. It's a beginner-friendly skill set that's needed for success, okay? You can literally start this today after this meeting and make a profit in your first month, just like Sean, okay? This is Sean, who in his first month, we say first month here, it was actually his first 21 days, okay? He brought in $16,000 profit after working with Dakota and myself, thanks to digital real estate, okay? So why digital real estate? Okay, remember earlier we said how many searches are going through Google each day? Just 8.5 billion, okay? So this is how digital real estate works. It works in one of two ways, right? One, you're helping a customer find a business that can help solve a problem for them, okay? But you're also helping a business get new customers and make more money in the process, okay? Without our website, the business wouldn't have been found, okay? Many have no or little online presence, okay? So it's a win-win scenario for the consumers and the businesses that we're helping, okay? So to summarize, right? Digital real estate is perfect if you've never started an online business before, if you've tried other business models and didn't find success, if you're busy with other obligations in life and looking for a side income, you aren't looking to risk 5 to 6 figures in capital to get started, okay? So here's what we're about to cover. An in-depth look into a website that we personally rent out for thousands of dollars each month and how we actually get paid. How to land your first digital real estate tenant and make your first dollar in near passive income. And strategies to only spend a few hours each week working on digital real estate, okay? Let's go. So Dakota, want to lead us through this part?
Yeah, guys. So let's talk about what digital real estate really is. Let's think of traditional real estate model, but completely online and remote. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's look at traditional real estate. You purchase and you own a property, you find a tenant to live in it, then they pay you monthly to do so, right? Digital real estate business are always trying to attract more customers. If not, they wouldn't be growing, okay? So you help them do this, and here's how. Number one, you own websites that rank high on Google searches, okay? So then number two, when people search for those businesses, your website actually pops up. And then lastly, a local home service business pays you to quote unquote live in your property and use your website for their business. Okay, so let me break this down one more time. Traditional real estate, we buy a home, we rent it out. Why are renters paying us? Well, because they need the shelter. They need a roof over their head. on a digital scale, and this is breaking it down very simply. So for those of you that already know how digital real estate works, this is a bit redundant. That's fine for those that are new. Digital real estate is we are building a very simple website. The value of that website is generating jobs and opportunity for a business. Therefore, the business is happy to pay you, the creator of the website, a passive income to you for getting all the opportunity to their phone, to their email, to their opt-in. Does that make sense? Good. So here is an example of a handyman site that our team has created, okay? So they're very simple, first of all, very basic with a call button, okay? Sections at the top directing the customer basically where to go, okay? This is a very, very generic site. The goal of these websites is to generate leads. And this is something that I probably say more than anything in our community, right? The goal isn't to represent the brand. It is to help the brand get more jobs, okay? They don't have to be the prettiest websites to ever exist. They just need to be functional. Okay, this is where we get a lot of hiccups inside those that we've worked with is they spend so much time focusing on getting this to be the prettiest website in the world, when in the meantime, the client next door has already built and rented out 5 websites because they can't just focus on getting a functional website out the door, okay? We want to drive as many people to this form as possible, which is below the banner shown previously, like I said, the call button or this form. So below the form, number 1, more information about the business and the services that it offers. For this website, you can see here, it talks about the services that we offer. So it talks about, hey, we do X, Y, and Z. We service this area. There's a little bit about us here. And a couple questions a lot of people ask us is, if you've never built a website before, as you just saw, these websites are very, very simple. Okay, even if you've never built a website before, there are AI tools that will do pretty much 90% of the work for you, or there's a bunch of different drag and drop softwares. Again, you do not have to be an expert. Here's an example of a drag and drop software. Anybody can do this. I can teach a 7-year-old, okay? If you think you can manage a drag and drop website, okay, please type yes into this chat. And again, this is a very important question. If at least you can do this, then you can be successful. So I need to see it.
All right, Sierra. Oh, Kyle says, yes, I have done this. Okay, Cammie. Zach Smith says, that ain't no thing. All right. Sherry says she could do it. Ross, Chad, Cody. Perfect. Okay, guys. Let's keep on keeping on. How do we actually get paid? Okay, so once you actually have a stupid, simple website built, and it's ugly, but it's doing its job, it's generating leads and referrals for a local business, then it's time to get paid. Okay, now this is actually much easier than people think. Okay, you can get paid in a number of different ways, right? Like literally, this is how you get paid. You open a Stripe or PayPal or both, right? That's a payment processor that can be used to send invoices and set up recurring payments. Okay, it's super easy, right? Or there's bank wires, transfers, even Zelle or Venmo, right? Depending on the relationship that you have with the contractor, right? You send the invoice, they pay it, and the platform will auto transfer it into your bank. Okay, so there is no correct answer here as far as what to use to get paid. Whatever fits your needs is the best, but these are the best places to start. Okay, now here's how to actually land your first tenant, first renter, right? So landing a tenant to rent your website is how you get paid. Okay, if you own a house, like we talked before, and you don't have a renter, you won't be getting that monthly cash flow. And that's what we're after, right? Dakota and I have a strategy to make this part super easy. Okay, we call it the Costco strategy. Okay, now get ready because you have a question here coming up. Quick break for this very important question, right? Everyone drop a yes in the chat if you have ever had a Costco sample before. Right? This is the best part of shopping there, right? Besides the food, I feel like the cheap food they have is so good, right? I better see lots of you guys in the chat here for a Costco sample. And somebody also please mention in the chat if Sam's Club also does, if they do samples. I think I've been to a Sam's Club once. I can't remember. Okay, but If they do, you can sub this for the Sam's Club method, right? But I'm going to stick with Costco. That's what I know. Okay. Perfect, guys. Yep, we got some response there. Jeremy, Richie, Allison, Skylar, Dustin, Ku, Raju, Sierra, Jonathan. Perfect. Okay. Now here's the Costco strategy, right? We use the exact same strategy when finding a digital real estate tenant. Just like sampling products at Costco, we offer local businesses 2 to 3 completely free leads to prove that we're legit, right? We give them a free taste test into what our website can actually do for their business, okay? There are so many products at Costco that either myself or my wife have bought because we tried it first, right? Maybe we weren't that interested. After trying it, getting that free sample, it changed our minds, right? Especially their conversion rate at Costco goes way up when they give you a sample and it's also a good deal, right? Because you think, wow, that's so good and it's a good deal, right? Most of the time, that's how these contractors feel when we give them these free leads to try is one, we've already made them money by the time we turn around and say, hey, can we continue to do business with each other, right? So we've given them 2 to 3 leads. Chances are they've already made money, right? We've given them free money. And then when we ask for $1,000 to $2,000 a month to just rent out our whole site from us, it's a really good deal, okay? Because they have been bombarded by other lead conglomerates like Angie's List, Home Advisor, Yelp, etc., that charge ridiculous prices for every single lead, and it's hard for them to even make money by buying those leads, right? Versus when they work with us, it's a different story completely, okay? So once that lead turns into a buyer, right? The business is eager for more. This is exactly what I was just saying. Every business owner loves new customers, making it easy to rent out your site without feeling pushy, okay? There isn't really any hard selling you have to do here. The selling is done by how good the sample is, okay? And free customers are the best sample you could ever give to a business owner, okay? Now, do you feel confident that you could do this? If so, do another yes here in the chat. Again, we're waiting for that delay.
I know we're asking a lot of you guys. We just need to keep engaged and we know.
Perfect. Here they come. All right. Lane in his 9 to 5, still answering in the chat. Love to see it. Jason G, great to have you here. Brian, perfect. Okay, Dakota, take us on the next one.
All right, guys. Let's talk a little bit about how to actually find good tenants. Okay, so even with traditional real estate, not all tenants are treated the same. Not all tenants are good. Okay, there are a few things that make a good digital real estate tenant. Okay, number 1 is location. Number 2 is the business type or the niche. And number 3 is, do they need help online, right? So if they need help online, chances are they're going to be a pretty good fit. Okay, so location. Here's what we look for. We aim for smaller areas. A lot of people, I think, are misled when they get started in this business and they're looking for the biggest areas possible to be able to hopefully incorporate a lot of opportunity for themselves. I'll tell you a little story. There's a client that we've worked with who had been doing this for a really long time, but never had much success. And I asked him, okay, like what niches have you targeted, what areas? And he said, car wraps in Las Vegas. Well, let me tell you, we live about an hour and a half from Vegas. There's probably some of the most talented car wrap businesses in the world in Vegas because it's a popular car spot. There's a ton of money in Vegas. There's a ton of competition. There's a bunch of different businesses competing pretty much for the same thing. And that's why it took him so long to be able to have success. Okay, so ranking a website on Google in St. George, Utah, where we live, is going to be a lot easier than Los Angeles, Vegas, New York, right? Less Google search competition. Okay, you also don't have to stick to only your state or your town or residence. This can be done anywhere, okay? There are 19,502 incorporated places in America to choose from. So please branch out. Do not get stuck on where you live. There's way more opportunity than that. Business type, okay? You want to target home service businesses with digital real estate. And here's why. Number 1, stable businesses. People always need home services, okay? I don't care what the market might look like at a given time. If your roof is leaking, you're going to get it fixed. Okay. Number two, weak online presence, right? Really good at their craft. However, websites usually needs a ton of work, right? So this is pretty common among home service businesses. They might be really good at sticking a pool in your yard, but getting clients and having a pretty website and things that actually generate, clients their way, usually they just rely on word of mouth and referrals. When those dry up, they're toast. Okay. Number three is literally they exist everywhere. Home service businesses are everywhere. There are 2.5 million of these businesses that generate $500 billion annually. It's a ton of dough. Okay. Plenty of businesses that significantly need your help. There is a ton out there. Okay. As we said earlier, these people are good at their craft, but are not good online. All you have to do is be slightly more knowledgeable than them, and you'll be able to provide a better result than what they're currently doing. After joining this class and paying attention, you already have more experience than them, I promise. So here's, some things to look for. Number one, if a business has no website at all, nobody's landing on their page because there is no page. Sometimes you're going to come across home service businesses that doesn't have a website, sometimes just flyers, word of mouth business in local communities. They're missing out. Again, 8.5 billion Google searches. Companies must have a digital presence in 2025 or they will not survive. Number two, the website is there, but it's old and outdated, right? Sometimes a website is built 25 years ago. It served as a purpose then, but times are different now. They have changed. Even the more basic websites will improve their current one significantly. Again, like we talked about earlier, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be functionable. Google Business Profile. Having an optimized Google Business Profile is super important to ranking high on Google. Customers can easily find out information on the business, see reviews, and even book a time slot for the service sometimes. Google Business Profile or GBP setup and optimization is a great way to get monthly recurring revenue. In fact, we do have a client in here who is killing this and is kind of bled into helping a lot of other students really focus on this service specifically. So do you feel like, and this is an important question, do you feel like you know what makes a good tenant versus someone that may not? Type yes in the chat if you feel like you're confident on that. Jamie, yes. Kyle, yes. Diego, yes. Allison, Dan, Ross, Brian, Zach, Jeremy, Austin, Tanya.
Perfect. Okay. You guys are still awake and with us. That's good. That's good. Okay. Can you hear me still? Dakota, can you give me a thumbs up on my audio? Perfect. Okay. So do you consider yourself busy, right? I asked this question before. Let's be honest, we all are. Okay. So how can we do digital real estate while only having a few extra hours per week? Okay. Time blocking, right? Create a dedicated time block each day of the week for digital real estate tasks, right? If it's not on the schedule, there won't be time made out for it, okay? We urge all of our students that we work with to dedicate a small amount of time each day to build their future, right? The more time, the quicker results you'll get. However, you can still get results with just 30 minutes a day, okay? That's all you guys need, 20 to 30 minutes a day, and you can make digital real estate work for you and generate you passive income, okay? Now, we also encourage you to write down your tasks each day to do them and then just rinse and repeat the process, okay? Now, we also encourage you to use calendar apps to schedule, right? Google Calendar makes a great platform to schedule out your weekly plan. Choose one day each week to plan out for the following week, okay? Prioritize high-impact activities to maximize limited time. With only a small amount of time, you need to be only doing the most important tasks, right? So ask yourself, what are the 3 most important tasks that will move my digital real estate portfolio this week, okay? And then you only do those important tasks, right? Dakota mentioned earlier, some students feel like their site has to be the most beautiful, perfect thing, aesthetically pleasing masterpiece in the world. It's not true. Stupid, simple, ugly websites make a ton of dough for us and our team, okay? So no time, no worries, right? This is a semi-passive income stream. Once you launch your first digital real estate website and you've landed a tenant, which now you know how to do, okay? Right? We've gone over what makes a good tenant. we've gone over the Costco strategy, right? Then your site will rank on Google, okay? Every month, your website will bring in traffic from people searching, okay? You don't have to touch it much at all, right? That's what makes it semi-passive income, right? You'll want to go in there and touch up some things now and then, but the name of the game is get digital real estate assets built out, okay? That's going to require the most amount of time, and then check in on them once in a while after that, and you're good, right? Most of the work is in the beginning, okay? Right? So if you can hunker down and focus and build a few assets and then let them ride and do some maintenance and checking in every now and then, your work is done, okay? So this is how to scale your portfolio now, right? Once you launch your first digital real estate website, you'll know exactly how to do it again, right? This is what we encourage our students all the time, right? They'll come to me and say, Derek, I'm looking at this place, this place, this place, and this place, and this place to set up a site. I'm like, cool. Just pick one and see the process from A to Z, right? Because once you know the process A to Z, it's super easy to rinse and repeat, okay? Instead of trying to go and conquer the whole world at a time, right? It's just like eating an elephant or a whale. You got to do it one bite at a time, okay? So how to scale, right? Once you've got the process down, you've seen it through at least one time from A to Z, you're going to repeat the entire process again, right? And then you actually can just scale until you're at your desired income, okay? Now, remember, there are over 2.5 million businesses that need your help, right? Now, with these strategies, do you think you could find time to build up your future with digital real estate? If you feel that way, type a yes in the chat. We should have gotten more creative with the messages in the chat, right? We'll mix them up next time, guys, to like put a clock emoji or time or something instead of just yes, okay?
Copy and paste your next yes, it's coming.
Yeah. Have it on the clipboard. Perfect, guys. Good to see you in the chat. Perfect. Yep, Dan is there still. Good, Dan. Good, Zach. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, so we have gone over a lot so far. So here's a quick summary. Okay, what a digital real estate website is, what it looks like, and what its purpose is, right? Like why it drives value. We've gone over the Costco sample. This is the getting clients portion of this, right? Strategy on how to identify a good digital real estate tenant. And then lastly, how do you manage digital real estate while being busy with life? Because let's face it, we're all busy. But I promise every single one of us has the time to be able to carve out with a really proven strategy. Okay, so because you came to this class today, you already have more knowledge than most people starting a digital real estate side hustle. Now, if you don't apply that knowledge and actually get started, it's not going to benefit you in any way. So without taking action on launching a digital real estate website, it won't even be possible to have a tenant paying you semi-passive income. So let me ask you, after everything you learned today, listen up, guys. Was your imaginary $4,000 investment you spent at the beginning of the class worth it? And did you at least learn one valuable piece of information today? If you did, say, yes, I did. I want to change it up a little bit. Yes, I did.
Oh, we got affirmative, we got fire, we got a thumbs up. Yes, I did, for sure. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. 100% for Rizzle. Perfect. All right. They've taken matters into their own hands, spicing up the chat. Love it. Okay, guys. So now we're nearing the end of this. Hang in there with us. For coming to this class today, we do have a special gift for you. Okay. You ready to hear about it? The truth is, we only had about an hour or so together tonight. Okay. Now, with that limited amount of time, there's still so much that we didn't get to talk about, okay? Here's what we didn't cover, right? We already talked about what we did. Here's what we didn't. We didn't cover our full market research strategy to going in and finding the perfect tenant in even more depth, okay? We didn't go over our complete Google Business Profile setup process, okay? We didn't talk about paid ads, right? To how to generate super targeted traffic for your tenant if need be, right? And we didn't go over the meat and potatoes of the SEO strategies to get your website placed consistently at the top of Google, as well as many other things, okay? On top of that, what if you get stuck somewhere along the process in your digital real estate building journey and you need to ask Dakota or myself a question? Okay. If there was a way to partner one-on-one with us on your digital real estate journey, would you be interested? If so, type a me in the chat or a thumbs up or something. Perfect. Allison says yes. Zach says yes. Jonathan says yes. Cammie says yes. They said, we're sticking to yes. That's what the slides say, Derek. Oh, Kyle mixed it up. Here we go. Zach, yep. Jamie, thumbs up. Perfect. Heck yeah, says Brandon. Awesome. Perfect.
So listen to this, guys. First, this gift is not for everyone. Let me be clear. But first of all, who is it actually for? This is not for you if you are not willing to invest some time to create your future. It requires some effort to build semi-passive income. If you are looking for a get-rich-quick solution, probably should pass on this, okay? This is for you, however, if you're willing to spend some time and effort building a semi-passive income to 5K per month, right? The reason that we talk about 5K per month is because I believe everybody can do that. Will everybody get to 30, 40, 50K per month? Well, if you continue doing what's working, yes. But I think that on average, if you're putting in a little bit of time, being able to get to 5K per month is not a tall task and quite frankly should be expected, okay? And number two, people that are willing to invest in themselves and in their future, okay? People usually want the world but won't give a dime to get it, right? We have to switch our mindset just a little bit here. So if you're serious about this, here is what we have for all of you here, okay?
Perfect. So this is just a peek into what Dakota and I have built called Remote Business Academy, which helps people more in depth along their digital real estate journey. Okay. So with this, here's everything you'll be getting. Okay. A complete Google Business Profile overview with information on what to charge, what to look for, and how to set up everything for your tenant. Okay. We'll show you the exact steps to building out a social presence that helps your tenants dominate the digital marketing space, as well as online or ongoing Google Business Profile maintenance strategies to get paid month over month. Okay. You'll also get 3 completely finished and rented out website build breakdowns, so you'll know exactly how to generate websites using AI. Okay. We'll also give you step-by-step tutorials using real client examples so you can follow along and build confidently. Okay. We'll also give you the strategies to build websites that convert, how to rent them out, and get paid well for it. Okay. We'll also, the list keeps coming, learn how to spot low-hanging fruit niches with real market research examples that make landing clients easier, We'll build high-converting lead funnels from scratch using step-by-step walkthroughs inside of our proprietary WebPro Suite software. We'll also teach you how to master Google Analytics so you can actually understand your traffic, how your sites are performing, and make data-based decisions for your tenants, We'll also just help you discover simple ways to close clients fast, even without leads in hand, So kind of bypassing that Costco method if need be and turn deals into long-term retainers, We'll also help you boost rankings with off-page SEO, backlink strategies, and fully optimized Google Business Profiles, as well as one-on-one strategies that we personally have used to scale our portfolio to what it's generating currently for you to steal for yourself, So you also get access to the top digital real estate coaches that are each earning over 5 figures per month from their portfolios, direct connection to Dakota and myself for help with any questions around digital real estate. You get access to weekly live coaching calls with proven digital real estate coaches covering everything from getting clients, how to do market research, building real results for yourself and your tenants, a supportive community of people who are getting started, landing deals, and growing their income, plug and play tools and templates to help you scale fast, That cut out a lot of that learning curve and process, Now, the question I have for you now is with everything we just mentioned, do you think those things would actually help you make money with digital real estate? If you feel like they would, let us know in the chat. All right, we for sure. Yes, yeah, yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Cami says yes, Jamie says yes, Jonathan says yep. Perfect. Okay, guys.
Now understand this, guys. I want to take over for a minute. If we were to go one-on-one with everyone, there would be tons of students working with. We just simply cannot do that, okay? So to get the best results and to make sure everyone who works with us is, number one, serious and committed, we have to charge. There's no way around it, okay? If you are looking to get into digital real estate seriously, not just as a hobby, but as an actual side hustle that can hopefully benefit your life in a major way, secure a time with one of our client advisors who will be able to strategize with you on your custom next steps, okay? However, there are a few rules you have to follow to actually take advantage of this, okay? Number one, and this is very important, guys. If you haven't listened to anything, please listen here. Only apply if you are truly ready to build a second income with digital real estate. We are looking for motivated people who are serious about putting this into action. I'm going to be really, really frank here. We have nearly 750 students. I will not pollute the community with people that are not serious. And this is a little bit more serious note on me and Derek. We are very, very keen on making sure that the community stays very, very high profile in terms of people that are dedicated to making this actually work. That way the network inside there is very valuable, okay? Number two, I want you to make sure you are actually going to be able to attend the call that you select on time. We don't want you to waste both of our clients' advisors' time and your valuable time, okay? So please respond to the client advisors if they reach out. They want to make sure you are fully supported and fully prepared so you can get the most value on the call. And lastly, please only apply if you're willing to invest both, your hard-earned time and money to actually make this work for you. Okay? You guys understood? Yeah, please put like a yes or a thumbs up or something. We'll keep going here. Again, if you want to partner with us one-on-one, you will need a minimum of $2,500 to invest into software, website hosting, the tools, and then the training necessary to make this actually happen, okay? Now, we only have 20 spots available to chat with our client advisor today. The simple truth of this is there's only so much time on our calendar, okay? You can claim yours by heading over here on the right side of your screen. There should be a link here. Do you guys see that link? Make sure you guys see that link. Drop just a quick yes if you guys are seeing that. Derek, are you seeing it? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm seeing it above the chat on my end at least. Give us a thumbs up if you can see that link on your screen there, guys. Oh, perfect. Now in the chat. Perfect.
Okay. And guys, this is where you have a choice. Okay, so there's typically two types of people when we get to this point. Person A, they take what they've learned. They're excited about it. You start your digital real estate journey, right? Partner with us. Derek and I are going to guarantee your success, right? You're going to get direct access to Derek and I should say, as well as 5 of our top digital real estate coaches in the space. And again, all of our coaches are earning over 5 figures per month, okay? Countless modules of recorded content that contains everything you're going to need to know about digital real estate. We don't leave anything out. We share all of our best secrets to making money on this and actually being able to do this somewhat passively, okay? We're going to give you weekly live group calls to help you master your portfolio. We're going to give you access to AI software that allows anyone to build websites easier than ever before. We used to have to do this from scratch. AI makes our lives a lot easier, okay? And then lastly, a community of others just like you starting their own digital real estate portfolios together, okay? You'd be following a proven roadmap to see success, just like, and let's show a few examples of what we've seen here. Colton, who landed a new client within his pretty much first 4 days of getting started, $500 per month. Shane, he collected $9,000 in his first week of the month. Philip, who has made $5,000 from one digital asset alone. This is outdated. He's making more now. We want to work with you to build a semi-passive income for yourself, just like Colton, Shane, Philip, and guys, this is just a small sample size of the hundreds and hundreds of students that we've helped, okay? So please grab a time. There's only 20 spots available. Grab a time to chat with one of our client advisors to make sure this would even be a good fit for you in the first place. Now, guys, this is a very, very casual call. They just want to make sure that we can, number one, actually help you, and two, get an idea of your timeline of like not only your goals and what you're looking to do with digital real estate, but also how quickly you want to get there. This is very important information for us to be able to then come up with a very custom roadmap for you, because it's going to look different for Dustin and Chad and Jonathan and Billy here. It's going to look different for everybody, okay? So going back to when we started in 2020, I wish I had access to a program in a community like this, okay? I wish I had one-on-one coaching support. I wish I had weekly group calls, complete guides and resources to use, a community of others to be able to network with. I think one thing that Derek and I have really realized in this business, and really any businesses at all, is being around people that know what they're talking about. You're pretty much bound to succeed eventually. Right? One thing that I tell to all my clients is like, I can't help any of you commit, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. And that's just because we have the tools, the resource, and the knowledge that allows you to follow a very proven process and a roadmap that has been done many, many times before you, and you're duplicating that process, okay? It would have saved us a ton of time, a ton of money if we had someone that had a clear roadmap. We didn't, so leverage our mistakes that we have made and our successes that we have gained and follow a very proven roadmap, okay? So lucky for you, you get access to this the first time and more, okay? So typically starting a business or a side hustle equals failure. I am sure that many of you on this call have tried something before, okay? But having a mentor is gonna expedite your progress, right? You're gonna avoid costly mistakes, and we've made a ton of them, right? So we're going to show you what to avoid. Number two is you're going to get proven strategies right away to fast track your success. Lastly, we're going to ensure, I should say, you're making semi-passive income ASAP. Like I said, I can't help you commit, but I'm not going to let you fail. Tonight, you have sat through the webinar. Chatting with a client advisor to see if we can partner up with you is the next step, okay? By chatting with a client advisor, you're going to gain, number one, all the resources used by us and our students to own a profitable digital real estate portfolio. You're also going to gain support from the best digital real estate coaches in the space, and I mean that. Number three, access to Derek and I and 750 other people actively doing digital real estate, okay? You're also going to have weekly coaching calls to prepare you with every single skill that you need. If you have a question, there's a call to answer it. Lastly, is you're going to have access to AI softwares. Again, this is just to make our life easier and speed up the work process. So if you don't end up chatting with a client advisor today, you're most likely probably going to end up in the same cycle. Wanting to make semi-passive income, thinking about it, probably not getting started, right? By securing a call on the calendar, you're doing one thing, and it's at least making a commitment to yourself today to explore this and hopefully make this happen. Here is what your next 90 days will look like after joining, okay? So do exactly what we say, and your next 90 days are gonna look like this. Day 0 to 30, we're gonna lay a foundation, right? You're gonna get trained up with every skill you need to succeed with digital real estate without tech headaches or guesswork. That's number one. You're also gonna meet with your digital real estate coaches one-on-one to build custom strategies based on your schedule, your income goals, your market, and I wanna add your timeline. Because some people want to make this happen quicker than others. And so we have to make sure that we have a custom strategy for you. And then within 21 days, you'll be ready to launch and rent your first digital property, bringing in at least $750 up to $1,500, maybe even $2,000 from just a single asset.
Perfect. Exactly. Yeah. So, okay. So that's your first 30 days. this is what the days 30 to 60 look like. Okay. And that's what we call scaling smart. With your first site rented out, it's time to rinse and repeat. Okay. But even faster this time. So by day 42, you'll have the tools and confidence to build 2, 3, or even 5 more sites, each bringing in rent from local business owners. Okay. At this point, many students are already hitting 5K a month in semi-passive income, working just a few hours a week to maintain it. Okay. Now, days 60 to 90, this is when you can be full-time. This is when you can be making full-time income, right? With some part-time effort. By day 84, this is when the game changes. At this stage, you've got a small digital empire bringing in consistent monthly cash flow. Okay. You might not even need your job anymore, but if you stay, it's because you want to, not because you have to. All right. This is where options open up. You can reinvest, you can start taking Fridays off, or double down and scale to multiple 5 figures per month. It's up to you, okay? Now, the person who commits themselves to this journey tonight will be in a much different place in 90 days than the person who doesn't, okay? The person who doesn't commit will be stuck at step 0, right? The person who commits tonight and sticks with it will be making money, okay? Now, remember where Dakota and I come from, okay? We had no tech background. We never finished college. We worked in ice delivery and window cleaning, okay? Oh, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, Dakota, if you can hear me. Okay, perfect. If we can do it, then you definitely can too, okay? Now, we're so confident this works, okay? Listen closely. If you do everything the coaches and Dakota and myself tell you to do, and you're not making at least 5K per month in the next 90 days, we will continue to work with you for free until you hit 5K, okay? That's how confident we are that our system works, all right? If you still haven't yet booked a call yet, this alone should leave you with 0 reasons not to, okay? Now, here are some frequently asked questions that we get from people interested in working one-on-one with us. How quickly can I start making money with digital real estate? Using our methodologies, students have previously seen success in the first 30 to 60 days when they actually dedicate effort to it, right? Sean made 16K in his first 21 days, okay? It depends on your effort and how closely you follow the steps, okay? How long does it take to build a digital asset? Most students build their first asset in under 30 days, okay, including training time, right? We provide templates and training to speed things up, even if you're starting from scratch. I would say on average, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to build it completely from scratch. So far under that 30-day threshold, okay? Do I need any prior experience or technical skills? Again, the answer is no. Okay, this training is beginner friendly and walks you through everything step by step, even if you've never built a website or done any sort of marketing before. Okay, now how much time do I need to commit each week? Right, most students succeed putting in just 5 to 10 hours a week. Right, 30 minutes to an hour a day tops. Okay. We don't recommend going and spending hours and hours every single day when you have a family, a job, etc. Right? If you could just carve out a little bit of consistent time each day, you'll see massive results over the next 90 days. Okay. Now, our student John, for example, who you watched the interview with before this webinar, hopefully you guys saw that interview. He spends just 7 hours a week working on his digital real estate. Okay. So what's the startup cost to actually get going? Outside of the trainings, you might spend another $20 to $50 per month on simple tools like domain names and website hosting. Okay, so for a website that is ranked on Google, the overhead on that is about $50 a month. It looks like a domain, hosting, call tracking number. Okay, so this is a high profit margin business, guys. Okay. Is there ongoing support if I get stuck? Absolutely. You get access to weekly coaching calls. Okay. You get a private student community and direct support from myself, Dakota, and the other coaches who all do digital real estate themselves. Okay. Now, how much can I expect to make? Well, it really depends on how much you want to make. The more digital assets you have to your name, the more you get paid, right? Just like traditional real estate, those landlords with a ton of doors make a lot more money, right? One digital asset can go $500 to $2,500 per month, depending on the case. If you take commission deals, right, which we usually see those as 10% of revenue, some students have made over $5,000 a month from just one website. Okay. It looks like this, for example, a project that's $5,000, right, which is on the low end, right? If you send over a guy a concrete contractor, a small concrete job, and you take 10% of each job, well, that's $500 in your pocket every time that concrete guy lands a job, right? You could be sending them 20 to 30 jobs a month. Okay. So just imagine what that income boost would be like. Okay. So am I too young or too old to actually do this? Not at all. Okay. We've had both college students and people further along in their careers succeed with digital real estate. Okay. There are old guys, young guys, moms, teachers, doctors, all walks of life within our community. Okay. And that's what makes it so great, is that literally anyone can get the hang of it. Okay. Now, those should clear up any of the big questions if you had any left. Okay. So again, make sure to secure a time slot with our client advisors who will help you with your next steps. Okay. Now, we do want to open this up to a short live Q&A. Now that we've kept you guys for over an hour here, so we want to make sure we get to all of your questions as best we can with a little bit of time that we have left. So we'll go ahead and open that chat back up for a live Q&A. And while that's lagging, right? While the chat is lagging, people are typing questions. I want to just show you some examples, okay? So here are some examples of other sites within our portfolios, okay? This is a driveway gate installation site, okay? Super simple website, right? Looks a little bit better than the handyman one we saw earlier, okay? But that thing rents out for $1,500 a month, okay? This is a concrete coatings website, okay? Again, pretty simple website, right? This rents out for $1,800 a month, okay? This tree service site, which is a little bit uglier than the other two, right? Still rents out for $1,000 a month, okay, guys? So these are some real life examples of what these sites look like and the money that can be made renting them out, okay? So perfect, okay. Let's take a look at the chat and see what questions we got. Okay. All right. Okay, we're getting lots of tools here. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so Kyle is asking, what do the AI tools cost when we're using them for websites? Okay. Now, it depends on what AI tools that you're using exactly. Most of the AI tools that we recommend using are free, okay? Now, there are some that can be more expensive, but we typically recommend those for people that already have a few sites rented out, that are already making some good passive income from their assets, okay? Okay, so Zach here spoke with Joe last week, one of our client advisors. I'll be talking more with him and you. Do I need to set up another? Zach, you can just reach out to Joe directly and say, hey, I attended the webinar. I'd like to chat further, and then you guys can take it from there. Perfect. Okay. What is the average cost for SEO and Google ranking per month per asset? Do you have to run paid ads to generate leads frequently? Okay, Jason, this is a great question, and we can get really lost in the weeds here, so I want to make this as simple as possible. Okay. In most instances, okay, when we rank a website organically, the cost to maintain that is about $50 per month. Like I mentioned before, you're paying domain, hosting, call tracking. Okay. Now, if you decide to put a site up in a more competitive area, right, where there is more competition, then sometimes it is necessary or at least beneficial to supplement that with Google Ads, but you can run those at any rate that you choose. It can be $5 a day, $10 a day. You could get crazy and spend a ton of money. I wouldn't recommend doing that, But that's just if you go for a niche and market that's more competitive, okay? And we teach you step by step how to find the lowest hanging fruit so you can build those sites that will just cost you about $50 a month to maintain, okay? So yeah, after Jamie asks, after we hit 5K per month, do we still have access to all the tools, to the trainings, the AI tools and trainings? Absolutely. Okay. It's not like you get booted from the community. You're there. You're part of the family. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. We're getting so many good questions here, guys. Okay, let's go for another one here. Okay. Steven, right? He's got a little bit of a technical question here. This is fun. This is somebody who knows rank and rent, right? So an exact match domain or an expired domain for faster rankings. Okay. We don't teach the expired domain loophole, if you would call it. We actually teach more branded domains nowadays. We're seeing good success with those. So yeah, either exact match or branded domains should do the trick. Okay. Diego says, will be charged. So Diego, great question. So Diego says, we'll be charging the clients for having their websites, but also for bringing in leads. Okay. No. So the website is always yours, Diego. You build the website, you own that puppy, right? Even when you rent it out to another business, guess what? You're not going to put their business name and logo on your website because it's yours. You own it, right? They just are simply renting it from you to have the rights to all of the leads and referrals that website is generating for their particular business or service, okay? So it remains yours, and that's what you're charging that monthly rental fee for, okay? If you go for, Allison says, if you go for 10% of revenue generated for client sites, how do you verify that? Okay. We have lots of different tools to be able to do that. Some are free and simple, easy to use, CRMs, as well as some proprietary softwares that we built that you can opt to pay extra to use. But most of the time, our contractors, you guys have to realize this about contractors, right? If you've ever dealt with a contractor, these are simple guys for the most part, okay? Most contractors will, there's a lot of shady ones out there, right? But most of them will not bite the hand that feeds, right? Especially if you're bringing them in a good amount of leads and jobs and they're closing them. It's easy to verify if that work's being done and how much they're getting paid. And we teach our students how to do that. But most of the time we don't feel like we have to babysit our contractors, right? The way that we position our sites and the value they add to the business, contractors work 99% of the time really, really well with us and our students, okay? Skylar, how do you handle lead tracking and delivery? Okay, so at the beginning, right, when you're giving out a few leads here and there, obviously the leads are coming to you. After you have that site rented out, those leads are going straight to the contractor, right? We use call tracking phone numbers, right? This is something we didn't really talk about much on the presentation, right? But these phone numbers that you see on our rental websites, guess what? It's a phone number that we can choose where the destination goes to, right? So you call that phone number, and today it might go to one person, but next month I might switch it to a different contractor that's paying me more, right? So we can choose, if you call this number, where it ends up, right? And so that's how we handle the leads, is they go directly to our renters, right? Those phone calls go straight to that contractor's phone. It rings, he picks it up. It's going to have a little whisper message that says, this is a new lead from, Concrete Solutions, Boise, Idaho, right? Or you can even type it in to say, this is a new lead from Skylar, right? And the contractor's like, oh yeah, no wonder I'm paying this guy so much money each month because he keeps sending me deals, right? So that's what that looks like, as well as those lead forms and other ways that leads are generated through the website get dropped right into the contractor's inbox, or sends them a text notification. All that is super easy to set up. Okay. Okay. Can you still provide the same research and tools if we were based from another country outside of the States? Absolutely, May. I need to get a count on how many different countries are represented inside of our community. But we have students from Mexico, Canada, all over the UK and Europe, Malaysia, Singapore, South America, Chile, Portugal, right? We've got Costa Rica. I mean, so it does not matter where you live in the world, right? All our trainings apply the same. Okay. Perfect. Let's see some other questions. Business licensing setup. Yeah, we can definitely point you in the right direction. If you've never set up a business before, it's so much easier than I'm sure you might think it is. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. What else? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, our team itself is all over the world, right? Which is Zach has mentioned. Okay. Yeah, Cody, we do recommend, this goes along with the previous question, with setting up a business, an LLC for your portfolio, right? Especially once it starts generating a decent amount of money, right? At first, you can run it as a sole proprietor, right? You don't have the same tax benefits, but if you're, only making $1,000, right? We want to wait until you're, those 90 days in and doing more to actually justify going up and setting up an LLC. And then, yeah, we can teach you exactly how to do that. Okay. Okay, so Steven says, okay, GBPs, right? They tend to suck up most of the traffic. Okay, so Steven, if you're looking at data, right? WhiteSparks is a great company that studies trends on Google, studies Google algorithm, right? There is still a huge chunk of traffic coming to the first 3 to 5 organic listings below the map pack. Most of our students don't even worry about setting up a GBP, but we do have trainings on exactly how to do that for your digital real estate websites. Okay, as well as if you do find yourself in a more competitive area, you can supplement that with a couple dollars a day in Google Ads. Okay. No, you cannot do this without computer access. You would definitely need a computer to do this, Brandon. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Oh yeah. Thank you, Tyler, for answering Allison there in text format. Perfect, guys. Okay. We've gone way over. We're approaching an hour and a half. So thank you so much for hanging out with us for the last 90 minutes or so. Hopefully you got some value here, and hopefully some of you have gobbled up some of those 20 spots we have available to talk with one of our advisors to see what it would look like to work one-on-one with myself and Dakota and get you guys to that first 5K per month milestone with your digital real estate portfolio. So thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you guys on Instagram or other places on the internet where we all hang out, and we'll go from there. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Places on the internet where we all hang out, and